missing mother, meanwhile, in Massachusetts, once feared her husband so much that she called the police, and that was before the couple was ever married. The incident happened nearly a decade ago when Ana Walshe reported that her now husband threatened to kill her and a friend. The case went nowhere after she refused to cooperate with the prosecutors. Brian Walsh is under arrest now, accused of misleading investigators about his wife's disappearance. It adds to the damning evidence investigators are piling up against the husband, which includes a knife, a hatchet, and traces of blood. But with investigators unable to say for certain whether Ana Walshe is even a victim of a crime, the evidence in this case still remains circumstantial. Let's bring in Nicole Parker, a former FBI special agent in the Miami field office. Over more than a decade at that agency, she investigated everything from homicides to sex crimes, kidnappings, and human trafficking. She was a special agent on scene to investigate many high-profile cases, including the shooting rampage at the Parkland, Florida high school, as well as the mass shooting at the Fort Lauderdale airport back in 2017. The interrogations she's conducted and her testimony in court has led to countless convictions. And we appreciate you joining us now. Nicole, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good to have you here. We're going to talk about your piece.
Sure.
It's gotten a lot of attention on FoxNews.com. You've written specifically about why you decided to leave the FBI. But first to this case, where now we have this picture of this woman since her disappearance with a bruise on her face. We know that there was evidence that she once was threatened by her husband, then did not cooperate with authorities in the investigation. What do we know about this really bizarre case where there seems to have been a lot of red flags along the way?
There are absolutely a lot of red flags. A lot of times when we're looking at investigations and solving these types of cases, we're going to look at the historical behavior of an individual. Brian Walsh clearly had a history based on this new information coming out that he had been abusive to her. She had actually contacted law enforcement herself.
I want to point this out because our producers are telling us these are brand new photos that we've received of the couple, obviously in a different time. But these are exclusive to us wedding pictures that Fox Digital was just able to obtain. Continue.
Wow, excellent. So looking at the pictures that I see on the screen, one of those calls to law enforcement was actually before she was married to that individual, to Brian. And she, contacted law enforcement and chose not to press charges. That's actually something that I've seen in several situations where they contact law enforcement, but then they end up backing off and they proceed in their relationship. That history of threats, if someone's going to behave that way, patterns of behavior determine future behavior. So it wouldn't be shocking that he committed this crime if he had made that threat in the past.
And now the investigation reveals evidence reportedly found in the mother-in-law's trash, including trash bags with blood, a hatchet and a hacksaw, used cleaning supplies, which we continue to learn more about how much of it was found. With all of this evidence, how has this person not been brought to justice?
I think it's just a matter of time. They're probably waiting for lab results to come back. I'm sure they tested blood, DNA, things of that sort. When you're going to charge a case, you want to make sure that it's rock solid. And really, that's up to the prosecution team. Law enforcement provides the evidence to the prosecution, and it's up to them to determine when they think that it's right to charge the case. But I would think that it would be sued in this investigation.
In your time at the FBI, I mean, you have seen countless cases like this where it looks like a perfectly happy, look at these pictures. It looked like a perfectly happy couple.
Right. You say pictures are worth 1,000 words, but anyone can put a smile on. A lot of times people don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And I don't know if you recall, but in this case, she had wanted her mother to visit her recently, right before it occurred. A lot of times there's things going on behind the scenes that you don't actually see. But when you're an investigator, you go back and you look at the digital evidence, their text messages, their phone calls, their Instagram, their emails, and that usually shows a pattern of behavior and things that were actually going on that you don't see on the outside.
And that can be incredibly telling. So we'll continue to watch where all of that goes. And I want to bring up your piece that you have published. It's on .com right now, foxnews.com. And you talk about why you left the FBI. 3 months ago, you say you walked away from the FBI and the career you once loved, and why you felt you had to leave. In it, you say the FBI became politically weaponized, starting from the top in Washington and trickling down to the field offices. Distancing myself from egregious mistakes, immoral behavior, and politically charged actions taken by a small but destructive few FBI employees became exhausting, you write. Although I was always treated with the highest level of respect in the Miami division, you say you no longer felt that you were the type of agent the FBI valued. That is a huge statement. What did you see happening there?
That is a huge statement, and I would like to make a very, very clear discrepancy. There are so many amazing people doing amazing work at the FBI, but at the end of the day, we report to the higher-ups. So when things continue to happen that don't appear to be fair, and it's very clear and obvious, and I think Americans have seen this one thing after another. There's been a lot of politicization at the FBI, and that is very, very dangerous for the FBI because we want to be fair and we want to have the Americans' trust. I think that all Americans want the FBI to be fair. It shouldn't matter what side of the political spectrum you're on. The truth is the truth, and we need to conduct investigations fairly. And I would tell you that about 99.9% of the employees at the FBI are operating under that. But it just takes a small few to kind of, we have to explain ourselves to everyone just because of the actions of a small few. And it did become exhausting because, when you're having to go out and do investigations, you need the buy-in of the Americans. You need their trust in order to conduct your cases. You've got to conduct interviews. You need witnesses. You need people that really want to cooperate and help the FBI. It's so important. And, we need to make sure that we are the FBI that Americans love, respect, and trust. And I can tell you that most people at the FBI are, but we really need to make sure that we're standing strong.
And I'll ask you if you believe that the ship can be righted based on where you believe it is today. And losing valued employees like you can be a huge problem. And I know you write about that in your piece. You talk about how the credibility damage at the FBI is leading to a lot of problems, including recruitment. We need the best and the brightest talent to be working inside of the FBI. And if that's not happening, things can dramatically change.
Absolutely, 100% agree with that. It is so crucial that you have quality employees. And like I said, there are so many quality employees. And I do think that this is something that can, with a few minor tweaks, that we can change.
Minor tweaks?
Well, I would say that the FBI, we work in partnership with the Department of Justice. So, like I said, we report into the Department of Justice at the end of the day. Yeah. And it's a partnership. But I do believe that with some strong leadership and maybe reevaluating, self-reflecting, and looking at some things that have happened, if we can take a look and make some adjustments and be the FBI that Americans deserve, be trustworthy, be fair, and be impartial, and be unbiased, and have no politicization in our investigations, we can absolutely right this ship.
Well, you are incredibly skilled in your passes. Your resume is amazing, and you have been involved with some of the highest level investigations there. And to have you here to talk about this is really key for us. Thank you for being here. And the piece is on .com right now. And just a small theory about why this has gone so viral and why so many people are reading it. Perhaps it's confirming so many suspicions for Americans who have lost that faith in the FBI, but Americans are a hopeful group of people. And I believe they, to your point, believe that it can get better and that there can be improvements made. And you're confirming that. Absolutely. And like I said, all the people that I know, we are doing fair, honest, true investigations, protecting Americans. And we need to rest assured that there are good people holding the line. Good to have you here. Nicole Parker, thank you very much for joining us. Okay.
I'm Steve Doocy. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.